Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky are some names that are not going to be on WWE Backlash. Isn't that just alarming to you? We have this PLE coming up, and Backlash is known to be basically rematches of WrestleMania's match card, or just continuing the stories that were made at WrestleMania, or that were still going on and brewing during WrestleMania. This time around, WWE Backlash completely restarted the storylines for everything, and they started fresh right after WrestleMania 41. And that would have been okay, but this time around, WWE only gave themselves 3 weeks to build brand new feuds for this PLE. Mind you, a lot of these should have had a bigger build than what we're currently getting. And despite that, we're just missing the main stars of the entire company with this PLE coming up. Like I said right in the beginning of the video, let me name you all the stars that are missing on this PLE. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes, Braun Breaker, the Street Profits, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, The New Day, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Io Sky, Zelina Vega, Nia Jax, Jey Uso. Like, what? This is like majority of the main stars when you think of the WWE that are left off this PLE. Backlash is a great, huge stage premium live event. We saw it last year and also the year before. Backlash is a huge stage that can make superstars go on a outstanding run. We saw it with Jey Uso in France. He had the greatest, to this day, greatest crowd reaction to his entrance, and some might even argue that kick-started the Jey Uso movement. That kick-started the Yeet movement. That literally made Jey Uso's entrance what it is today, as he is now currently your World Heavyweight Champion. And obviously, some of these names, there are some injuries, like with Bianca Belair and Roman Reigns. He's not injured, having him sell the recent attack that Seth Rollins did to Roman Reigns. But all these other names, these are all champions that are being left off this card. And obviously the match card that we got, we have John Cena versus Randy Orton. We have Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the IC title. Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the IC title. We have the Fatal 4-Way with the men for the US title with Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Then we also have Gunther and Pat McAfee. Like, look, I'm not saying that Backlash isn't star-studded. You can clearly tell that we're missing like a boatload of guys that have current feuds going on and they're not on the card, which is very weird. I understand like Roman Reigns, he's taking his usual after WrestleMania little month break or so. The rest of these guys, they're all champions, it seems like. Like Jey Uso, it seemed like we were going to get Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash, which a lot of people did not like. I understand why you might not like it, but it would have been a nice first victory for Jey Uso. I feel like Jey Uso should be the staple of Backlash, especially him being on last year's Backlash and that being such a outstanding and big moment for him. I feel like he should have been on this card just for what happened last year alone. Jey Uso, he just won his first ever world title and he's not on the Backlash PLE that is 3 weeks after. And they kind of started this feud off already. So just like they did with a few of the other matches right here, like John Cena and Randy Orton, that just started 3 weeks ago, just like Jey Uso and Logan Paul. And they're making Randy and John go right at it at Backlash. Why couldn't we get Jey Uso and Logan Paul? John Cena and Randy Orton is a way more anticipated matchup than Jey Uso and Logan Paul. It seems like they're saving this feud to make it a little bit of a bigger build, I guess. Does it really need it though? I don't think people even want to see it in the first place, but I don't know. Tiffany Stratton's left off. Like, all these champions that are left off the card is so weird to me. Like, I'm glad that they have the mid-card titles shining at Backlash. Maybe that's what WWE is trying to go for. Maybe they're wanting the mid-card talent, which a lot of the mid-card talent on this PLE are main eventers, but they're in the mid-card scene, and I like it because they're building the mid-card titles to be valued like a world championship, which is very nice. We're not seeing a lot of main eventer talent on Backlash, which is weird. Like, when I first looked at the match card, I didn't think that at first. Then when I saw the list of names that are left off the PLE, like, this is crazy. Tiffany Stratton, who just beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, has nothing going on the PLE right after Mania. This is a huge deal for Tiffany. They could have easily put put Tiffany against Nia. They could have put Tiffany and Jade Cargill against Naomi and Nia Jax in a tag team match. Even if they're not defending the title, the champions that are left off the card, a lot of them could have had matches that are doable. You have Io Sky. She's been killing it too in the last few weeks of Monday Night Raw and NXT. Like, Io Sky could have easily defended her title at Backlash, easily, whether against Roxanne Perez, Julia, Rhea Ripley if you wanted to, and that's already an established build that you don't really need to do too much of. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Maybe they want to save that for a bigger PLE. I don't know. That I feel like that would have made a lot of sense. Already an established feud. They had 3 extra weeks to potentially do something with it. Io Sky could have easily been at Backlash, no question. As well as Tiffany Stratton. They already have established things going on for them, and they are champions. So I don't see why, and they're big names. They're huge names. They're making a name for themselves every single week. I don't see why they're not on the Backlash card. New Day, they just won the tag championships, and obviously, like, I'm not saying that every single champion should or can be on the card, because there's only 5 matches, so you can't have all these names on the card. But what I'm saying is that a lot of these people that are left off the card either need a little bit more exposure into a main PLE setting with a lot of eyes watching them, such as New Day, and also, like, Io and Tiffany, they don't need to have a rushed feud or a rushed build like some of these, like Randy and John, only 3 weeks worth of a build, and John Cena only showed up on 1 or 2 of the SmackDowns to build the match with Randy, when Io Sky and Rhea Ripley already have an established feud, and it would have made sense if Rhea wind her way to get a rematch against Io. Tiffany and Nia, that's already a booked match. You can easily make that happen. Like with the New Day, I'm not saying that they should have been on Backlash. It's just another champion that is kind of not even in question of making any sort of way that they can be on this PLE. Liv and Raquel is understandable. Liv Morgan is shooting a movie. She is casted in a new movie coming up, so Liv Morgan has been off for the last 2 weeks. I believe she might return, though, at Backlash, maybe to help out Dominic Mysterio. The Street Profits as well. When are we going to make the tag team scene on either brand? Obviously not Monday Night Raw brand, because they're kind of in shambles. SmackDown brand, you got Fraxium now involved. You got the Street Profits. You have Pretty Deadly, Tommaso and Johnny Gargano, Motor City Machine Guns. They weren't on WrestleMania. You could have had some sort of tag match Backlash. I'm kind of confused. They're pushing the tag team talent, and then they seem to not want to give them the light on a main stage like a Backlash PLE. Obviously, Cody Rhodes, he's on this list of not being on the card. He shouldn't be back yet. I know he's confirmed to be back on next week's Friday Night SmackDown, I believe. He might even return at Backlash after losing to John Cena in the WrestleMania 41 Night 2 main event, and Travis Scott kind of, you know, getting involved in everything. Cody shouldn't come back immediately. So this is completely understandable. Cody's advertised for Money in the Bank, which is 3 weeks away, I believe. So Cody is on his way back. He's making his return either at Backlash or on the Friday Night SmackDown right after Backlash. Cody Rhodes being left off the card is completely understandable. Rhea Ripley, though, like when I was talking about Io Sky not being on the card, if they wanted to do something with the Women's World Championship, whether it's Tiffany or Io and Rhea, I know realistically should be on a bigger stage like a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania down the line. I would not mind seeing Io against Rhea at this PLE. Obviously, we're not going to get it, but to have Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill left off the card just seems like kind of bizarre. When was the last time we've seen a PLE where none of these women are on a single match for a WWE PLE? Seth Rollins, I'm kind of confused because a lot of people were speculating that we were going to see the Braun Breaker Seth Rollins tag team against CM Punk and Roman Reigns, the newly alliance that we might see down the road, CM Punk and Roman Reigns forming a tag team to take down Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Obviously, we're not getting that because all the matches are confirmed. I thought it was kind of weird that Seth Rollins made this huge move. Not even, is it a heel turn? Because Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, they have justification for their action. As much as, like, Rollins is supposed to be a heel, I don't view him as a heel. I pretty much view him as like an anti-hero. Rollins isn't being how he was in 2015 when he sold out to the Authority. The fact that Rollins is so over right now after WrestleMania, and him or Braun Breaker aren't on the card for what they've been doing ever since WrestleMania 41 is kind of bizarre to me. I was just talking about Punk and Roman Reigns. Obviously, Roman Reigns is taking time off, but CM Punk, he just returned this past Monday night on Raw to attack Seth Rollins. Sami Zayn was in there too, and Sami Zayn is actually another name that I didn't mention mentioned in the beginning of the video, Sami Zayn isn't on the card, and he returned 2 or 3 weeks ago, I believe right after WrestleMania. It seemed like at the end of this past Monday Night Raw, it seemed like CM Punk and Sami Zayn maybe could team up down the line to face Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Obviously, it's too late for this PLE. Maybe at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, they did have that awesome tag team match between the Usos and Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa 2 years ago. So that would be awesome to see at Money in the Bank, but like, we missed out on a ton of already established feuds to be on this PLE. And I'm not knocking any of the matches that are on this card because I think overall view, I feel like this is a good PLE. I feel like it's going to be a good PLE. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. Hopefully, please, Triple H, have Gunther destroy Pat McAfee and then have like Goldberg come out, have that feud start and have Goldberg get an insane pop after Gunther destroys Pat. And then Dom versus Penta, a lot of people are saying that it was a rushed match and Penta shouldn't really get his rematch clause because he lost like 2 or 3 times already for the IC championship, and him beating JD McDonough doesn't necessarily make him a #1 contender to face Dom for the IC title when Penta had so many opportunities already. I think we all know how this match is going to end. Dom needs to win, and Penta can't lose clean again. So I feel like all the Judgment Day is going to make Penta lose. Or do we see Finn Balor maybe costing Dom the title? But I feel like Dom needs to go on a good run because he's so over with the crowd, and WWE would really fumble if they have Dom lose so early on because everyone loves Dominic Mysterio right now. The US title, obviously, Jacob Fatu, they want to push him to the absolute moon. They want to make the US title something that's very valuable, kind of like how Gunther did to the IC title. Jacob Fatu is going to win this. I don't know how necessarily they're going to finish the match, but all I know is that Jacob Fatu will come out on top, and he's going to have a solid reign. Even if it's not like a substantial amount of days in the reign, I think he's just going to pile through, going to have a lot of defenses. Like, this is a big match for Jacob, and I think he's going to dominate in this match. He's going to showcase why he's going to be a future WrestleMania main eventer. I think this match could steal the night. I think it could be the best match on the card. The IC title with Lyra and Becky Lynch, like, this is another, all these matches are good. So like what I'm saying with a lot of stars being left off the card, I'm not saying there's no stars on the card currently. I'm just saying, wow, when you look at the names that are left off, like, I can't believe this is actually a pretty solid card with all those names left off. Like, Lyra Valkyria is finally being charismatic with the crowd, and I feel like Becky Lynch allowed her to open up a lot more, and with Becky getting a lot of heat, Lyra's finally able to be not this naive babyface, and she's actually being able to talk more and connect with the crowd a lot more. This is tough because I think Becky could win to add value and prestige to the IC title and to have their feud go on, because their feud shouldn't be a one-off. It shouldn't have Lyra winning and then that's it between Lyra and Becky, because this feud, if they have this built up for maybe like a month or 2 more, this could be at SummerSlam. SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights. This can easily be a great match on the SummerSlam card for night 1 or night 2. I wouldn't want this to be a one-off after Backlash. People are saying that Bayley could interrupt and cost Becky Lynch the match, and then we get like this triple threat match down the line for the IC title. Lyra's been holding the title for a while. Doesn't seem like it. I think it's been 5 months or so. So maybe Lyra losing it to someone like Becky Lynch wouldn't be so bad, because I think Lyra in a chase situation, chasing a title rather than holding it, and they're not having too much with her to work with. I think if she loses it to someone like Becky Lynch, continue this feud, have it brew for a few more months, Lyra chasing the title could be something very entertaining, and adding Bayley to the mix could be really fun to watch. To end it all off, I think Becky Lynch, in my opinion, is going to win and beat Lyra Valkyria and become the new IC Women's Champion. Becky Lynch is chasing that Grand Slam championship as well, because now she needs to get the IC title and the US title as well. John versus Randy. As big as a Randy Orton fan as I am, John Cena is going to win this. I hope it's no interfering shenanigans like Travis Scott coming out or even The Rock. I don't even want to see The Rock get involved, because if he gets involved, chances are he's not going to finish the story that he's coming up with when he does interfere. Like, we're done with the soul thing. The Rock even said it himself. Like, we can get to it down the line, but no one wants to see that anymore because it's over and done with. I think John Cena wins. Or actually, wait, John Cena loses, I think, by DQ. So John Cena is going to force the match to end in some sort of weird way, whether he loses by disqualification by hitting Randy with the belt, like he's been doing to Cody Rhodes. Maybe that's where we see Cody Rhodes coming out, put an end to what John Cena is doing to Randy. I don't know, but I think John Cena is going to come out on top with the title still in his hands, whether he's losing by DQ or he's just winning the match clean with no interference. But I highly doubt it. He's on this run where he's going to try and ruin pro wrestling, as he stated several times. What better way to ruin pro wrestling than to ruin the final one-on-one match between John Cena and Randy Orton in a DQ match by like slapping the referee or hitting the referee with like a steel chair or something. Reviewing the entire card, this card still has a ton of star power to it. It's just so weird to see so many stars that are usually on majority of the premium live events off this PLE. I still think Backlash is going to be a great PLE. Let me know down in the comments below, what is your most anticipated match for this PLE? And what would be a match that you wish was on the card for this PLE? Because you can make a case for a lot of names that are left off that could have had matches on the card. I feel like WWE maybe wanted to save them for a bigger premium live event. I don't know. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.